Good afternoon, my Facebook people. How are you today? I am on today to talk to you a little bit about what has been going on with me for the past couple of weeks. I know that you have seen me Facebooking live from from Germany, from Paris, and I wanted to kind of like follow up because people have been asking me questions as to why have you been, why do you travel these different places? What is it that you're doing during these travels? And I kind of like want to give people an idea of what it is that I am actually out there doing when I'm traveling to in Europe and in the different places that I've been going to. So while I'm waiting for some of you to go on, come on, I'm gonna go ahead and start inviting some people because today is the 1st of March, and the one thing I want people to do is be able to get, if you haven't gotten the first 2 months of the year right, let us try see if we can at least get month 3, 4, 5, 6 right. At least, you know what, not even set a big goal of getting not even set a big goal of trying to get several months right. Let us set a small goal of just trying to get one. Let us just set a goal to try and get at least 1 month right. So if we can just get 1 month right with our finances, then we can build a series of successful months of success with our finances, because we would have learned how to do just 1 month at a time. It's not so much how many large things you can get done, but if you can just accomplish 1 or 2 things correctly when it comes to your finances, then it won't be such a struggle and such a hassle to try and figure out, how other people making it and I can't, and I'm working and making money and I'm still broke. Well, yes, I've been traveling all over Europe, and for those of you who don't know and maybe joining me here on Facebook Live, I am a money coach, yes, and I've been doing it internationally now, so it lets me know that there is not just a need for financial advice in the United States or even in my home country of the Bahamas, but there's also a need for people to be able to get a grip on their finances no matter where they are, because guess what? We live in a world where universally the language is money. You don't have money, you are going to be struggling on how to live and how to survive and how to make money. It's not so much an issue for a lot of people. The problem is, how do you keep that money when you get it? I mean, how do you make that money work for you? How is it that some people can get $1 and turn it into 100, and some people get $100, and at the end of the day they still only have $1. So as I get ready to go into this with you on this day, March the 1st, I call it the Purpose Money 30-Day Challenge, because I want you guys to use this month of March to get in on what other people have been doing in the places that I've been. For those of you who follow me, you know that I was in Paris. I was speaking in Paris for Dr. Sam Wabantu. I went to Germany as well, and then I was in London, and I had an amazing time on the trip because everybody is so excited about doing something positive with their life and with their finances. So invite your friends, and I want you to share this video. I promise you it's going to change your life if you only follow principles. Now, a lot of people believe in prayer, and I do. I'm a strong believer in prayer, and for those of you who know me, I am considered a woman of God. But I also know that there is power in principles, applying principles to your life. So you really have to learn to live by prayer, yes, but also by principles, because principles are what never ever fails once they are applied correctly. So get ready, and let's go. So I've invited some friends to come on board. Hi, Canel. Hi, Radisha, Masha, and Donna. How are you, Donna? Kelso. It's good to see you. I invite your friends to come on. Invite also, share this video, because I want to show you today how you can have a savings account, how you can save money without having to work extra hours, without having to have a second job. Two things I'm going to ask you to do today, and I guarantee you that this will change your financial life. Now, I'm speaking to people within the United States. I'm talking to the people in London that follow me, the people in Paris, and even in the French areas of Africa that follow me. And I'm also speaking to the Nigerians. I have quite a bit of Nigerians who are part of my teaching, and I'm very grateful to every one of the people in every country that I've had the pleasure of speaking to. And I also want to speak to my own Bahamian people, because you see, guys, the one thing I like about this Facebook Live thing is that if I am sitting here in the front of this camera and I'm saying something that is not real, I guarantee you one of my Bahamian people will be on this line, and they will put a note and they will correct me, or they will contact me and tell me, Sean, that was not 100%, because I'm still very involved with my people in the Bahamas. So what I'm going to do today, when I issue this challenge, I'm going to give you all a challenge that I want you all to do for this month. Hi, Pastor Joy. Thanks for being on. Please make sure you share now. Share with your followers that they can watch this conversation, especially for those of you who know Pastor Joy is the one who organized my event in London. And there were a number of people who hadn't come because they thought I was going to Facebook Live, and I decided not to, because there are certain things that you need to get in the presence, and so you can ask questions. And so I simply just didn't do that. So I was talking about my Bahamian people. I am coming to Nassau. So for those of you who are listening in the Bahamas, share this with your fellow Bahamians, because guess what? After I issue this challenge, I'm coming to Nassau, and if you inbox me and tell me, Sean, what you said worked for me, I want to hang out with you at my favorite spot in Nassau, which is Dino's, because I like Dino's tropical salad. So we can hang out by Dino's, have some tropical salad together. I will treat you, and then you can ask me all the questions you want to ask me about my life, because in the Bahamas there's no secret, everybody know everybody. So that's for Nassau. In Freeport, I will be down there very shortly, but I don't know exactly when, but I'm definitely going to be in Nassau in about 2 weeks. For Florida, for those of you who are in Florida, and for those of you who are planning to attend my upcoming conference, which is going to be on April 1st at my hotel there. I call it my hotel. I really should have shiz, because I like going there. The Marriott Harbor Beach Resort in Fort Lauderdale on April 1st. If you follow these principles and you inbox me and tell me that this works, I will make sure that during this conference you that you are highlighted to tell your story that this stuff worked. Because see, I'm not trying to sell a product. I'm not trying to sell myself. What I'm trying to do is sell to you, or give to you, tools that can change your life. So having a conference for me is not about just having a conference where we're going to talk about and telling you things that you can do, and then trying to get you to do things you really don't want to do. I am trying to give you something that is results. So what I'm selling to you today is results. I'm going to tell you how to make your money work for you without you having, or how to increase your savings without you having to work a second job. Does that sound like something you guys are interested in? If that sounds good to you, and if you're a person who are tired of not having enough money, then you are listening today at the right time, and you should share this with your friends so that I can tell you what we're going to do. So I'm going to give you guys just another second to share and get some people on board. Hi Rudy, I see you. Rudy's done my class, so Rudy can attest to what I'm teaching, and there's several other people on here who have done my class, so you know what I'm talking about. Some of it you're going to know what I'm talking about. Actually today, after being gone for so long, I'm actually in my office today in Florida. Wow. It's feel kind of strange sitting in here. But anyway, today we're going to talk about purpose money and I'm going to give you what we call the 30-day challenge. Now, most of you hear me talk about purpose money and how you have to assign purpose to your money in order for your money to stay in your life. Well, yes. What is purpose money? Purpose money is money that has been pre-assigned to accomplish something for you. So basically, if you're saying that I'm waiting to save some money because when I get this amount of money, I'm going to buy these shoes, or I'm going to buy this car, I'm going to buy a house, that is actually purpose money, because you have assigned and you've given that money an assignment. So as the money begin to come in, and whatever you deem as important to you, you begin to save the money for it, or you begin to ask other people to give you the money to do what you want to do. That same principle, believe it or not, applies to getting yourself out of debt, to getting yourself into a position of being financially stable. So what we're going to do today is that you're going to now start thinking, this is March the 1st. And for the next 30 days, I am going to make the determination that my money is going to be what we call purposed for savings, not for buying anything, just savings. And how are you going to build this extra money without working extra hours? I'll tell you how right now. The first thing you want to do, well, first of all, did I tell you, those of you who take this challenge, inbox me, let me know you're doing the challenge. I'm going to set up what we call a private Facebook group. I don't know how to do that yet, but I will get it. Inbox me and say, Sean, I'm doing the 30-day challenge, so that I can add you to that private Facebook group, because I want to be able to walk you through and keep you encouraged as you're doing the 30-day challenge. Okay? So the first thing you're going to do, beginning today, you're going to start saying no. So hi Karima, how you doing? So what you're going to do is start saying no. You're going to say no to yourself, and you're going to say no to every person that asks you for money. Yes, I said that. I want to repeat it because I want you all to hear this again. You are going to say no to yourself starting today, and you're going to say no to every person that asks you for money. Now, that includes, forgive me, I had a little interruption there. That includes everybody, okay? Forgive me. You are going to tell everybody no. And what do I mean by that? Let's start with you first. Say, for instance, you are every morning on the way to work, stop and get a cup of coffee and you buy your breakfast. You are going to now tell yourself, no, I'm not going to stop every morning and buy coffee and breakfast. Why? Because every morning that you do that, you're spending at least a minimum of $5. Instead of buying that coffee, I'm not saying don't buy any coffee or any breakfast every in the mornings, but you're just not going to do it every morning. You're going to tell yourself no. So before you leave home, go and look in your cupboard or in your refrigerator and pull out something that you know that you can eat, and use that and go to work. There's nothing wrong with making homemade coffee. I do it all the time. So what you're going to do is you're going to tell yourself, no, I'm not going to stop every morning and buy breakfast. And if you're a person who eat breakfast at home, but at the same time buy lunch out, you're going to now tell yourself, no, I'm not going to eat lunch out. I'm not going to eat dinner out for this 30-day period of time. The reason why I'm telling you to do this is because every day, for everything that you tell yourself no to, you are now going to document that in your journal. So you're going to take a journal with you, whether you journal by paper or you journal like I do. I use something called Evernote, because Evernote allows me to have what we call notebooks. So I can assign different sections of this electronic diary basically to whatever I want it to be, and I can word search it by, and find anything I put in there. So I like Evernote. But if you're going to go ahead and do this, you're going to document every day. So starting today, if you know you were planning to buy dinner on your way home, then say no Go home, whatever dinner would have cost you. So say, for instance, breakfast this morning would have cost you $5, lunch would have been another 10 or 12, and dinner is, say, 15. You're going to now write down $5, $10, $12, whatever it is. You document that as what you said no to. If you are planning to buy a new pair of shoes, whatever it is that you are planning to buy today, you are going to now tell yourself no. And you're going to document that amount of money in your journal. At the end of every day, you're going to add up how many times or how much, what is the dollar value of what you said no to. If somebody call you on the phone and ask you to borrow money, Sean, or say, loan me $20 or I need $100, you are going to tell them no. It doesn't matter who that person is. It could be your child. It could be your spouse. You tell them no. Why? Because you have to get in the habit of saying no. If you learn to say no, then when the time is right, it will be a preconditioned behavior that you will automatically say no. And then you have time now to go back and rethink whether you want to say yes. Okay, so getting back to how we're going to document this. You're going to say no to the food, no to the shoes, or whatever it is you would have spent money on starting today. You're going to document that. At the end of every day, you add up how much money. Hi, Esther. You add up how much money you would have spent today, and you do the same thing tomorrow, and you do the same thing the day after, and you do the same thing after. At the end of the week, you're going to add up how much money you said no to. And it's very important that you put a dollar value to everything you say no to. So if somebody asks you for $1,000 and you instinctually would have done that for them because of who they are to you or however you feel about them, you document that $1,000. So say, for instance, over the course of 7 days, you stop buying your $5 a day coffee. So that's 7 times 5, that's 35. And at the end of 7 days, you stop buying lunch. Lunch was $10 a day. 70 times 10 is, 7 times 10 is 70. So now you have 70 plus 35, which is $105. And then somebody asks you to borrow $50, or let's say $100. So now you have 105 plus 100. So now you have $205 at the end of 1 week. Just by saying no. You didn't work extra. You didn't do overtime, nothing. You just simply said no. Now, what is the key to all of doing all of this? After 2 weeks, if you're a person who gets paid every 2 weeks, after 2 weeks, you're going to look at what your cumulative total is for week 1 and week 2. And when you receive your paycheck, you're going to go to your paycheck now and extract the $205 or $400, whatever the 2 weeks come to. You're going to extract that money out of your paycheck. The reason why I'm telling you to take the money out of your paycheck is because if you had said yes to every day buying coffee, if you had said yes to everybody who asked you to borrow money, you would have lost that money anyhow. It would have been gone. You're going to now take that money from your paycheck and you're going to open a bank account and label it what we call the no account. And you deposit that $200, $300, $400, whatever it is that you would have spent in the 2 week period of time. You deposit that money into the no account. You're going to do that every 2 weeks when you get paid. Why? Because the money would have been gone anyway. Now, by doing this, what you're going to realize is you don't have a cash problem. You just have a problem with telling yourself and people no. I guarantee you that in 30 days of doing this, you will have a savings. You will have money to buy something that you want cash. Because guess what? When you don't assign purpose to your money, people will assign one for you. So there are people who are going to strategically know, especially when you're single. When you're single, people seem to think that single people don't have the same bills as married people. But guess what? They do. The only problem is they only one paycheck that covers the cost that two people normally do. Why people think single people have a little bit more to spend, I don't know. But your problem initially is not, am I earning enough money? The problem is what I am doing with the money that I am earning. By telling yourself no to everyday frivolous expenses and telling other people no who have already assigned a purpose to your money, what you're doing is gathering control of your finances. You will find, now I will tell you this, all of what I'm telling you is based on a cash system. This is for if you are going to pull up there and spend cash. If you're using credit card, oh my God, you need this more than ever, because now you have to tell yourself no to using a credit card. You have to now try to find yourself into the world of cash. I like to travel with cash. I want to pay for my coffee with cash. Why? Because I need to feel when that money leaves me. If you are spending cash, it is harder to part with it than if you hand over a piece of plastic. There is a relationship and a bond that you build with money when it's cash. And if you don't spend cash, then you become disconnected from what is your finances. So what I'm challenging you all to do now, if you are the person who would have pulled up in the drive-thru and you would have used your credit card to buy your breakfast or lunch or dinner, whatever, if you are not paying all of that off when you get paid, then you're already in debt. So by documenting every time you say no to just the use of your credit card alone, you begin to understand how much of your salary, how much of your livelihood you are giving away before you even earn it. So those of you who are credit card people, this is especially important and critical to you because you need to reconnect with money, first of all. And then secondly, you really need to not be in debt. If you go to cash and do this by cash, what is going to happen is this. You're going to begin to realize that after 1 month, that credit card that you're carrying that has a $500 or $1,000 balance, you can begin to pay it off with the money that you said no to yourself and everybody else with, and you did not have to come up with any extra money. These are the things that, it's sad to say, I am a Christian woman, yes, and I'm in the church, but the church don't teach you this. What the church teach you is to have faith in God and to trust God. But the Bible itself gives you principles that you must live by. If you do this, God will do this. If you do that, God will do that. And if you don't do them, you don't reap those benefits, no matter how much you pray. So prayer is not going to answer all of your problems. You are still going to have to come down to a level where you understand that principles is what decides the wealth that you create. Yes, God's favor, it can be upon your life, but you still have to apply principles to your financial situation. And there's so many people who are anointed in the areas that they are anointed in, but yet still, when you check them out on a financial level, they are struggling financially. And why are they struggling? Because they don't understand how to embrace the principles of Jesus or the principles of the Word of God, but they understand the emotional, the psychological, the spiritual aspects of Jesus. But I got news for you all. Jesus had money. You know why I know that? Because he traveled with an accountant. He had his own bookkeeper. How many of you all have? I mean, come on. How many people you know nowadays just travel with their accountant? We don't do that. The fact that Jesus had a bookkeeper. Hi, Pastor Joy. I'm going to see you soon. That's Pastor Joy from Abuja. Let me tell you all something. You could pray all you want. You could fast all you want. You know what? Let's talk about fasting. When you go on a fast, guess what? God don't hold the spoon and he don't hide the food. You have to make a conscious decision not to eat the food. Hi, Thomasina. You have to make a conscious decision not to eat the food, to fast, to get into the presence of God, to get what you want. So guess what? God supply you with a job and health and strength to work. You have to now apply the principles to hold on to what God has given you. I would ask you all, please. This is March 1st. Everything, I know some of you have already set financial goals for the year and you've already fallen off the bandwagon. So let us set a small goal by simply daily saying no. No to the coffee. Do you know that statistics shows that if you spend $5 a day on coffee, I wouldn't even call the brand name, but if you spend $5 a day on coffee, with compounded interest over a period, I think, of 20 to 30 years, you will still be a millionaire. $5 a day. It sounds impossible, but it's very real. We as people out there in the world, especially Christians, have to stop waiting for a miracle to happen. You don't need a miracle for money. What you need is principles and discipline. You have to, first of all, want to be out of trouble with financially. And then when you decided that you want to be out of trouble, then you have to discipline yourself to follow the strategies and that the world is using. You don't even realize that the world is using biblical principles. They don't say it's from the Bible, but when you know enough about the Word of God, you begin to understand that the world is using biblical principles to build their financial wealth. And we're not. Christians are among the poorest of all religions. The Jews are the richest. Muslims are number 2. So what is it that they're doing that we're not doing? We got a whole lot of Jesus, a whole lot of walking in what we call power. But we still don't really have power, because guess what? There are 4 things that give you power on this earth. 4. Knowledge, understanding, wisdom, number 2. But number 1 is money. Whoever have the money gets to be heard. Whoever have the money gets to lead. So why are you content to follow? Why, when you feel as though that you've been called to greatness, you don't have to be mediocre. All you have to do is put your flesh under subjection by telling it no. Now, let me tell you something about saying no to people. Telling yourself no is one thing, because you can argue with yourself and get over it. But when you start telling people, especially family members and friends and your children, no. Be prepared now that they're not going to like it. Some of them are going to get upset with you. Some of them are going to fuss with you. Some of them may not even speak to you. But I'll tell you this, it is revelatory. No is the greatest, most powerful word you can use to find out who a person really is. Because guess what? There is a famous saying that says, if you really want to know who a person is, go live with them. I can cut that down to days. If you really want to know who a person is, watch what they do when they are under pressure. The true character of a person comes out when they are under pressure. And when you start telling people no, that's when you begin to see who they really are. They will start, if a person really cares about you, they will understand. And they will say, okay, I understand that you can't do it for me this time. You've been there for me all along, whatever. But the person who you see is self-centered, who is only focused on what they want for themselves, will take it extremely personal that you did not give them what they felt they needed from you, regardless of what it cost you. And then you have to ask yourself the question, do I really want to be around such selfish people? Do I want people like that in my life? You want people in your life who you know care about you, who you know that no matter what, whether it's good or bad, they will be there. The only way to know if you have a true friend is when the friendship is tested. And telling them no is a really great way to find out who is a friend and who is not. So to wrap this all up, I'm not here to stay long. To wrap this all up, I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to say no. Take this 30-day challenge with me. Inbox me. Let me know that you're on the challenge so I can add you to my private Facebook group. And if you don't find yourself saving money over the next 30 days, then what I am teaching does not work. Like I said, I'm here to sell you results, not to sell you a product and not to sell you my philosophy. I'm selling to you today. I'm encouraging you to join me on a journey where you can now make your life financially better. And how do you do that? By beginning a process of daily telling yourself, no, I will not buy the coffee. I will not buy the expensive shoes. I will not buy the expensive pocketbook. I will not buy unnecessary electronics or have to have the latest and greatest phone. I will not do it. Why? Because I need to be in a position where I have more control over my money. I need to discipline my flesh, first of all, and then I need to get some wrong people out of my life by simply telling them no. Simply telling them no. I guarantee you that if you would add up how much money you spend on coffee every day, add up how much money you spend on all these things every day over the next 30 days, you will find yourself with money that you didn't even know you had. Because you see, our subconscious behaviors become like it's normal to us. The things that we do every day, the things that we establish as a pattern, is what determines how we view and react to money. If you have been living your life the way you've been living it and your financial situation has not changed, then you need to change some of your behaviors. And this is your first step. No. Practice saying no. If you're a person who have a problem saying no, just look in the mirror. I'm telling you how to do it. Look in the mirror, look yourself straight in the eye and say no. When I did it the first time, I struggled. I really, truly struggled. I struggled to tell people no. I struggled. It wasn't so much hard to tell myself no, because I mean, come on. It's only so many shoes you can have, and then that's it. Joanne, I'm glad you're in. And Pastor Joy, I'm glad you're in. I know Chastity is going to join this because she's not going to buy any coffee. Because I've been on the phone with Chastity buying coffee in the morning. Amen. I didn't mean to call you out, Chastity, but it's true. Anyway, do the 30-day challenge. Document every expense that you say no to. Put a dollar value to it. Add it up every week. Every 2 weeks, if you get paid every 2 weeks. Esther, please, yes, join it. If you get paid every 2 weeks, go to your paycheck and withdraw that money and put it aside. Now, I'm going to tell you something what you're going to find that's going to shock you. You're going to find that when you have paid your car note and your light bill and whatever bills that are necessary, you may find that the amount of money that you said no to exceeds the balance of what your paycheck is. And that's a wake-up call to let you know that you are overshooting your budget every 2 weeks. Now, if you can say no to everybody, no to yourself, and still, when you compare that balance to the balance of your paycheck, and you're still okay, then you're doing really good. But I guarantee you, most of you will not be able to extract $200 or $300 from your paycheck every 2 weeks, because when you were saying no to yourself, you know what was happening? Some of that you were compensating with your credit card, and some of it you were pulling from what should have been your savings. And that's your wake-up call to realize that every 2 weeks now, you don't need to go a whole month or a whole year to find out that you're overextending yourself financially. Every 2 weeks now, you're going to find out that I either overshot the amount of money I earned or I am within range. And then now, over the next 2 weeks, you can balance yourself and know where you have to cut back some more. So you may have to say, you know what, I've been buying designer water. I call it designer water. I've been buying designer water, which when most of them are tested, you should go online and search. Most of those waters, when they're tested, they're not even good. Some of them you wouldn't even drink it. You can probably cut back on your designer water or something else, because you're going to realize now every 2 weeks whether you are within the realm of what you are earning. It's not a difficult thing to do. Inbox me, let me know how you're going. If you need encouragement, I'm more than willing to encourage you. And if you can prove to me that what I'm teaching today works, I want to hear your story. I want to see you on April 1st. I want you to stand up and tell people this is where I was on March 1st and here is where I am on April 1st, because something that was said on this day gave me the motivation to start taking control back over my money, to assign purpose to my money. We, as a consumer nation, need to understand that the majority of the world's wealth is not, they say, by the top 1%, but their statistics show that there was a study done that showed that the majority of the world's wealth is in the hands of 60 people, as in 60. So every day when you think you're walking around having control over what's happening around you, you have no control because you have no money. You're living by what other people says. The only thing you have control over is what comes into your hand and what you do with it. And if you don't own real estate, you definitely don't have no say. You need to go own some real estate. So why not let that be? Once you start understanding where your money is going and how to save it, now you can start directing your money towards ownership. Ownership of my environment. Ownership of what I am all about. Ownership of property. So that at least when you get in your house and close your door, you could tell the world, silence. This is me right here. You don't belong in here. Step aside. We have to have a place for sharing. Hi, Miss Stella. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being on, and thanks for sharing. I appreciate it. We have to stop walking around as though we are victims. We were never born to be victims. We are very strong. We're very powerful people. We're just making wrong decisions because the decisions regarding our money are being made for us. So the little bit of control that we have, which is that paycheck, take control of it. You don't have to have everything you see. Stop being one of these people who walking around the place in red bottoms, penny wanna be a dollar, faking it till you make it people. Who are you trying to impress? The people who see you in the designer stuff and loving all of that designer stuff, guess what? They don't have no money either. And you all have to be real about this. I gotta be real with you all because guess what? The people who are walking around in all of this designer stuff, if you check them out, they don't have the money you think they have. They faking it till they make it just like you. Stop trying to fit in. You're not supposed to fit in. You're supposed to be exceptional. You're supposed to be different. You're supposed to be unique. Because that's who God made you. Separate, whole, and unique. So when you now take control of your money and you decide to wear a pair of red bottom shoes, guess what? You're walking in those shoes with power. Not wondering, oh God, please don't let them ask me to pay for lunch today because I only have $5 in my purse. Come on, guys, let's get real. Or you right there praying that you can get home from church because your car don't have any gas. This is time for us to be real. This is March the 1st, 2017. I've been teaching this for many years, and guess what? Most of the people who I've taught have not followed the instructions I've given, and they are still struggling financially. And I'm watching them, and I don't say a word. Because I'm not in the business of repeating myself over and over again. If you don't want to listen, that's your problem. Just don't bring that to home to me. We have to be honest and we have to be truthful. The church is the number one influencer in the lives of most Christians. But it's not being taught that we have to take control of the decisions we make. And I will end by saying this. Whatever you decide today, you are going to live with it tomorrow. Because right now, whatever your current financial situation is, whatever your whole psychological and physical situation is, it's a result of the decisions you made yesterday and the day before that. So I'm going to encourage you today, make a decision today that you know you can live with tomorrow and the day after and the day after. Because I guarantee you, as long as you are alive, you will live with the decisions that you make today. I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please go online, watch the, go and inbox me. Let me know that you're in, because as soon as somebody educate me how to do a private Facebook group, I'm going to do the private Facebook group. For those of you who are in Florida, I will expect to hear from you, and I will expect to see you at the conference so that I can showcase you, because I want people to know that this stuff works. And for those of my Bahamian followers, I'm going to be in Nassau. We're going to do some tropical salad at Dino's. You all know exactly where I'm talking about. And then for my Androsians, my fellow Androsians, oh my God, the people from my island, I mean my home people, my Androsians, I have a big plan. I'm thinking that if some Androsian people follow this, when I come to Andros, I want us to get on a private boat. Hear this. I want to get on a boat. I want to put the barbecue grill on that boat. I want to go over to the little private key that's just off from where I live. And I want us to party on the key, giving God thanks and praise for his wondrous works, because this stuff works. And you know, you guys in Andros, you all know me, so you all know if I'm lying. But I want to take my Androsians now over to, I forget the name of that key, but they know what I'm talking about right off there. We can go over on that key, do a little barbecue, have a little drink, swim a little bit around there, and celebrate the goodness of the Lord. That's what I want to do in Andros. Nassau, it's Dino's. Freeport, I have to figure out where we're going to go. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this in Freeport, but don't worry about that. And in Florida, I'll see you all on April 1st. Inbox me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate all that you're doing, and I appreciate every one of you that follow me. Thank you for, for loving on me and giving me your time. Please go to my Facebook page, like it, message me, all that good stuff. Twitter, Instagram, you all know what to do. I'm new to this, but you all know what to do. So go ahead and let me know how this goes, and I will check in with you guys in a few days, okay? Have a blessed day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.